Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lawrence King. I'm the principal at Paul Robeson High School. I'm very excited to be here and present this to all of you. This is an introduction to Paul Robeson High School, and we'll go through with our slide presentation. I will be speaking, and also our two counselors will be speaking, Miss Kimberly Lent and also Mr. Jacob Brogan will be speaking concerning Paul Robeson High School. Next slide, please. Our story, who are we? Paul Robeson High School is a small high school in West Philadelphia with about 300 students. We've had a long history of excellence academically, socially, and emotionally, and things of that nature. In 2013, we were slated to close, but now we have a situation where we have 98% of our seniors graduating, and thanks to strategic partnerships and great leadership, we've been on a rising trajectory, which we're very proud of. We are a community. Paul Robeson Way is simple. Paul Robeson is a school of nurturing learning community that is not only fosters a sense of empowerment, that it drives students to seek healthy, positive, nurturing relationships, but also a community design of students in development of the 21st century skills needed to be successful in post-secondary studies. And we are very much about service in our local community and careers. And with our global community, we are very excited about that plan for us and how we move forward. Our core values are that we're positive, nurturing, and we promote healthy relationships with a growth mindset, college and career readiness, and a consistent belief in ourselves and one another.
So building off that, we just like to point out the fact that we are a member of Network One, and certainly some of the schools on this list may be more recognizable, but we like to say that this is the company we keep for good reason. We are doing very good work, but keeping it very low key here in University City, but we do collaborate with and kind of measure ourselves against a lot of the criteria based in other citywide admission schools. And so that is our expectation, and that is the kind of success we are looking to have to rival these schools in various aspects. We think what we do here works really well, just like it does at some of these other schools. But we have expectations that we're going to talk about that we hope, even without having official criteria, we do try to maintain a level of excellence and uphold that Robeson way, as Mr. King referenced earlier. So our Husky family, as Mr. King referenced, we're a very small school. Our previous principal was here over 10 years. Ms. Lent, who's going to speak in a few minutes, is here 12. We are small but mighty. Our entire staff can fit here on this one slide. You don't need to learn everybody, but if you come here, your students come here, they will learn everybody. And they will know from the custodial staff to the kitchen staff to the climate staff to the teaching staff, right? You have teachers once or twice in your 4-year career, and it's a small building, which has its positives, makes it safe, makes it inviting. But it's like a family in that you got to get along and you got to learn to work together in these spaces, and you will know these people, and your students will know these people over the course of their time here, because we do not have, turnover is not something we deal with too often, as people have highlighted in the past. Staff that comes to Robeson stays at Robeson, and so you'll know people. Actually, one of our English teachers just anecdotally mentioned how she has her first child of a former student from when she was back at a previous high school, but now she's been here at Robeson long enough. She's on her second generation of Philadelphia family. So that's the kind of school that we are here, where people, are committed to West Philly and stay active here. Some real basic expectations that we share with all of our students, because we have high expectations, as I mentioned, but we also offer lots of support. You take care of yourself, and to go with the Husky motto, you take care of the pack. Because we're small, we've got to stick together. We've got to solve our problems here. Some of you come from middle schools and lower and elementary schools where there's only one classroom or two classrooms, so there's not a lot of switching that can happen. We're similar. Like, you're going to see students and staff. So if there is something that needs to be addressed, we're going to handle it and solve it and move forward, because we are a team here. You control your emotions and your future. Certainly, we're going to give you skills and tools to develop those sorts of things, and lean in at all 3 levels, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, to try to help. But we like students to recognize, especially as they transition into high school, that there's a lot of autonomy and a lot of control that hopefully you will grow and develop from 9th to 12th grade, but you're individually in charge of a lot of what you're trying to accomplish and what we're helping to get you towards. Communication is huge, all caps for a reason. You know, we can't help solve a problem or work through something if we don't know what's going on. We don't know the details, whether that's something at home that students are keeping private or whether that is a disagreement with a peer in the school community or a staff member or not understanding your homework assignment. If you speak up at Robeson about not understanding work, teachers will provide help for you and support. That's the kind of staff we have. But if you shrug or they don't know you're struggling, it makes it more difficult to do that. So communication is key. We try to treat you as much like young adults as we can, and we hope that you're willing to share with us when things aren't going well for you. And that gets to the last point, that we are here for you. People come early, people stay late. Our staff gives up their time when they need to make sure students get what they need. We provide the support and we maintain the expectations and to help everybody succeed as they proceed towards whatever they're going to do post-secondary. Some additional expectations and the things around climate and culture. This is listing our core values, but certainly work ethic is important. Even though we do not have criteria to get in, we do have standards in terms of what we want our students to accomplish and we hope they achieve. Ms. Lent and I here in the counseling office work with students to reach whatever post-secondary goals they have, but we want all students to understand that college is an option if it's something that you are interested in, and we will encourage and support any student. And we have students, as you'll see, that every year we get into successful four-year colleges, but if four-year college is not for you, that is okay too, but we want it to be an intentional decision based on some facts and information. So your work ethic is important, and that growth mindset, recognizing that you don't have to be perfect, but we want to see improvement. You're not, as in a small school, when you come here, you will be noticed. You can't just slide through. You will get attention, whether you ask for it explicitly or show signs subtly. And we think that's a great thing, but that's not for every student, that kind of environment where the principal knows your name because he knows the name of all the students very quickly. And so do the counselors, because we can do that. A lot of times students like to know about dress code policy. Going back to that network one slide, our former principal said the same thing, but his vision was a lot of those schools don't have dress codes, don't have uniform requirements, I should say. So we currently do not have a uniform requirement either. We do have dress code as far as things like no open-toed shoes, as far as appropriate length of shorts and skirts and shirts and spaghetti straps and language on clothing. But in terms of the uniform question, that is not something that we require. So students do have some self-expression they're allowed to display on dressing. We have a low suspension rate here, well below the district average. We're a restorative school. We do school-wide SEL as our model right now for social and emotional support. We have a climate manager this year. In some years we haven't, but either way, we're all about solving problems. And so by being able to do that and by being able to address situations that are brewing before they get too big, we're able to handle and redirect and diffuse circumstances before they rise to the level of possibly warranting a suspension or time out of school. Because I'm going to skip a bullet for a second, but attendance is imperative. So we want you here and we want your students here because we are a citywide school, and near the L stop, we do get kids coming from different parts of the city. We lean towards west and southwest with where our students come from, but certainly you can't get your education if you're not here. So we want to make sure our students are here on time every day, and we value your time, which is why we look for alternative ways to solve problems as opposed to suspensions. We want you here and we want you learning, and we want you to value being here, because we have a rigorous set of standards and expectations that we're going to push academically that we need you to be here to gather. We do get a lot of questions about athletics. We have a full offering of PIAA athletic teams. Some of the larger sports, meaning that need larger teams like football and soccer, we do partner with High School of the Future. But if there's anything you want to play, we can either do it in-house or we have a partnership with another school in the area that we can connect you with. And we've had people swim, we've had people play lacrosse. Our track team has been successful for years. So we have a lot of good sports, even for a small school. And then the credit slide is up there. That's consistent for all schools in the district, but we have the same 23.5 credits required, plus satisfying Act 158 that we will give new students plenty of information about as they go through their process, because graduation is so important and valuable to what we do and what we strive to help our students achieve as part of the next step in their journey.
Okay.
Oh,
Oops, sorry. We muted.
sorry.
You go back to slides. Okay. Sorry, technical. Okay. Okay, sorry. So as hard as we work in school, we also try to provide our students a lot of opportunities outside of school. I'm not going to read all of these, but you can read them at your leisure. I'm going to highlight a few. We have a wonderful partnership with UPenn's Netter Center for community partnerships, and we do a lot of programs with them, and a majority of our students are involved in one thing or another with UPenn, either our education pipeline program. You can see up there UPenn's ABCS neuroscience and math program. We also have students from UPenn come into the building and work with our juniors and seniors, and mentor them and help them with their college application process. So we do a lot with UPenn. Our latest endeavor is working with Youth Court. This is just starting this year, and that's wonderful for all of our students, but especially those that are interested in law. We have the consortium in our building and IBHS program, but the consortium is actually a mental health program that is on our second floor. So our students can actually receive therapy in our building, which is really great for our students and the parents, so that our students don't have to go outside for therapy. They don't have to take public transportation and go anywhere else for therapy. They can be referred and get therapy during the school day. Next slide. And just to really highlight what Mr. Brogan and I do, we work very hard with our post-secondary work. These are a lot of the places that our students end up after high school. Last year, you can see on the right on the little daily news article, one of our students did get accepted and is currently a student at Harvard University, which we're really proud of because she was our first student to be accepted at an Ivy League school. We have a student at who received a full ride at Syracuse University. We have someone at Lehigh. We have students at Cheney, at Propel America, many students at CCP, which we highly encourage. CCP has wonderful programs, and it's a great way financially to start off your college, start off for college if you want to continue on the 4-year track, or if you just want to get your associate's degree. ECA and the Automotive Training Center are more vocational programs, and we recommend every type of program for our students because they are all individuals and there is no one road for everyone. So we work with our students all individually on their choices, and we have an average annual graduate rate of approximately 95% for the last 10 years. So you can tell that we do a lot of outreach. We have actually this Friday, we have our annual post-secondary opportunities fair where we will have more than 35 different representatives from different programs and schools that will be here at Paul Robeson, and we'll talk to our students in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. The reason that we don't have our 9th graders is because we found that 9th graders, they deserve their own special day, and in the spring we will have their own mini fair so that they can learn more about what kinds of questions to ask representatives, and we'll have a panel for them how to prepare themselves in 9th grade going forward. So they get a little bit more of a private lesson. Does anybody have any questions about Paul Robeson, about what we do here, about our classes, about our extracurricular activities? Anything that we can answer, that Mr. King as the principal can answer, we're happy to answer any questions.